Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin our news tonight with new information on a suspicious bag that required the Grand Forks bomb squad to be called into action last night. Good evening and thanks for joining us. It now appears the situation actually required a cleaning team. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us what happened.
The bomb squad was called to the parking lot of this apartment complex just east of the Alara Center at 10:47 Tuesday night. This backpack with the words "Danger, stay back" were printed on it. Police now say they found the owner, who simply says he had used it as a barf bag and threw it out of his car. The words are simply a slogan.
Various people within the department here have identified as a military type of patch, commonly used, so that it's not anything where this is associated with the military or any type of association like that. It's just a fairly common patch and a fairly common backpack.
Some folks may call bringing in the bomb squad to check out the backpack overreacting.
However, police say they need to take all the necessary precautions because even right here in Grand Forks, North Dakota, every once in a while they find a real bomb.
We wouldn't be serving the citizens of this community to assume that it wasn't a real threat. We always have to approach things from that mindset.
But if you don't, in the time that something does happen, you got troubles.
Absolutely. That's exactly right.
Luckily or unfortunately, however you'd like to categorize this case, what police found was a bag that simply needed a good cleaning. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
The owner of the bag is not facing any charges, and the cost of bringing out the bomb squad last night was actually free. All the officers on the bomb squad team were already at work. Also new this evening, what started as reports of a house explosion just east of Barnesville, Minnesota, turned out to be a large controlled burn. A man who is building a new home off Highway 34 says he'd been burning wood materials, but he says he likely used a little too much gasoline, causing an explosion sound. A neighbor made an emergency call after hearing the noise and seeing smoke that appeared to be coming from a neighboring home. No one was hurt and nothing was damaged. Once the fire department realized that had happened, they canceled backup and gave the homeowner a warning to report any controlled burns to the department. A man is behind bars after leading police on a high-speed chase through neighborhoods and school zones. Police arrested Michael Foley, and he's now in the Clay County Jail. According to the Clay County Sheriff's Office, the 22-year-old was intoxicated. The chase ended after he drove off the road and crashed into a tree in Moorhead off of Main Avenue. The chase began in Dilworth, and police tried to cancel it 3 times when the driver sped through school zones. Dilworth and Moorhead police, along with the Minnesota State Patrol and the Clay County Sheriff's Department, chased him for miles before the driver crashed. He wasn't hurt, but the car was pretty beat up. It's another quiet and cool September day out there. Hopefully this can stick around through the evening so we can enjoy the outdoors. Let's go to Hutch to see if that's the case. Hutch?
You know what? Pretty enjoyable out there for football practice tonight at Fargo South High School. And as we looked up into the skies again this morning in the wee hours, we saw more gorgeous northern lights. In fact, captured by our very own Robert Hahn. Take a look at the beautiful emerald greens we saw there. Just another treat of a night. Now, this evening, we have a couple of sprinkles showing up on the radar, some moving in basically toward the Mahnomen and Nadawash area right now in the northern portions of Mahnomen County, seeing sprinkles, as is eastern portions of Norman County. Temperatures in the 70s the next couple of hours, then we're slipping quickly into the 60s, Stephanie. Another cool, albeit light breeze kind of an evening. Looks like the cool sticks around for a while. I'll have details on that, and we'll talk about that weekend outlook. That's all coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
It's not too bad out there. It's nice to enjoy.
No, it's enjoyable.
Okay, thanks, Hutch. U.S. Senator Heidi Heitkamp announced today she will not run for governor of North Dakota. She's been considered a potential candidate for the Democratic nomination for several months. And current Governor Jack Dalrymple announced just last month he'll not be seeking re-election. Heitkamp's U.S. Senate term expires in 2018. Some new legislation could soon be changing the way disabled Americans get their gas. Washington correspondent Kelly Meyer has the details.
It's something many of us do every day.
It's routine.
But a normal trip to the pump isn't so simple for thousands of disabled Americans.
Come in and they have a disability tag or sticker in their car. They shouldn't even have to get out to pay or park.
But this isn't always the case. Mitchell Swanson of Lynn Center, Illinois, brought his struggles to the attention of Representative Sherry Bustos back in 2014.
We get out of our cars, we fuel up, and we take off. Well, it's not that easy for a lot of people.
She's sponsoring the Refueling Assistance Act, a bill that would help ensure people with disabilities can fill up their cars with gas in the same way others can.
So right now, disabled drivers are required to honk their horn to get assistance, but in a busy, loud gas station, this system doesn't always work. So the bill would require gas stations to add some sort of alert system to grab the attention of the attendant so drivers can fuel up and be on their way.
Bustos says she doesn't just want to see it happen in Illinois. She wants it to be a change in gas stations across the U.S.
And this isn't unique to my congressional district that I serve. It's not unique to the Midwest. It's not unique to any one portion of the United States. This is an issue that can help people all over the country.
In Washington, I'm Kelly Meyer, Valley News Live.
In a survey conducted by Inclusion Solutions, drivers reported feeling anxious every time they needed to refuel, fearing they'd run out of gas before they could actually fill up. And we were contacted on a whistleblower hotline about a teacher at a daycare provider who was fired after they left a child unattended in a van in August. And this isn't the first time. Coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 6, hear from a mother who says the same thing happened to her at the same daycare. And if you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline at 701-237-6576. Leave your tip and a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. The 2015 North Dakota Grouse and Partridge seasons open up this weekend, and North Dakota Game and Fish officials say the numbers are up across the state. The season lasts all the way till January 3rd. The daily limit is 3 with a possession limit of 12, and the Game and Fish Department is asking for your help with collecting data.
You can go onto the Game and Fish website and request envelopes, and you can put in wings from those grouse, wings from those partridge, and that helps our biologists gather data. We can get ratios of males to females, of juveniles to adults. It's kind of a citizen scientist kind of a thing.
Now, if you'd like to help, we have a link to their website on valleynewslive.com. Just click on the hot button. Corn, beets, wheat, soybeans, no matter the crop, we're entering harvest season. But before going out to the fields, there's safety reminders that need to be heard. Extension agriculture agents say this can be a dangerous time for farmers. Every year, there are more than 20 deaths in grain bins, which is why anytime they're full, people need to stay at a safe distance. A mask should be used to breathe to reduce the risk of wheat and mold going into your lungs. And harvest can really be a stressful time, so make sure you're sleeping enough and that the workload is not too much.
We need to make sure that we're aware of those safety hazards, make sure that the people that we're working with are aware of those safety hazards, and keep safety as our #1 priority all the time.
Some advice, like don't be distracted while driving, can apply to all drivers, not just those transporting crops. After graduating college, a Minnesota man decided to travel across the country and volunteer in all 50 states. Luke Kubik calls his mission Caring for the Country. His trip began on August 1st and will go until March 1st, 2016. It will include 62 stops along the way, including Fargo. Kubik is blogging about his adventures. To follow his journey or help his cause, head to valleynewslive.com and then click on this story. Today and tomorrow are big days at the Great Plains Food Bank. They're marking Hunger Action Month with their 3rd annual Pack-a-thon. Volunteers from 24 churches, civic organizations, and businesses are lending hands to pack up food. Their aim? Pack enough for 50,000 meals. The fruits of their labor will then be distributed to food pantries, shelters, and other feeding programs throughout North Dakota and Minnesota's Clay County. This group from Merrill Lynch is the first to jump into this very special and important food fight.
We've worked with the food bank on a number of other events, the Chef's Gala, as well as participating last year in the Pack-a-thon. So it's, I guess we've had a long stretching partnership with them, so we enjoy doing things. They need the help, and it's a great way for us to get out of the office and give back.
And there are events going on across the region all month aimed at drawing attention to the food crisis. Still ahead for us tonight, dangerous Cadillacs. A recall to know about and how many people it's affecting.
We briefly touched the upper 70s today in the FM area. Much cooler up north, 66 to high in Grand Forks. The cool continues. I'll have details in your hour-by-hour forecast coming up next.